Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. Quick bit of housekeeping. If you're watching this after it has been uploaded to YouTube, please smash that like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. It is totally free, does not cost you anything. Memolar, good morning. Do I have volume? Did I turn my volume on? I did turn my volume on. Memolar, good morning. Let me get to the end of this and I'll show you what we're working on today. Want to leave room for some grass. Sounds just fine, thank you. I finished the um, crate factory, the sack factory, and the plastic factory this morning. It's pretty much the same thing we worked on yesterday, but for the placeables. Now I'm going to turn the rest of this square into just a big placeable area, but we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to put in a pond and some trees and grass and all that stuff and make it look a little bit better. All right, let's get it a little bit closer to, I want that much grass. This will work. So basically we're going to try and finish this square today, but we have a lot of grass and trees and water filter and all that happy jazz to put in here. Now I gotta make a decision on whether I want to fence it in or not. May just leave it open. But we get this square done, and then we're down to here. So these two fields are already in. So we'll move on to this big open area up till this road. So this whole big open area over there will be next on the list. Continue working our way across the southern end of the map. Hopefully we'll get southern end of the map done soon. Yeah, I know it's been a few days. I needed a break from, I haven't worked on the map since Thursday last week. I just needed a break from the editor. So nothing too exciting today. We are going to go in and test those factories though after we get this industrial park finished. Just to make sure they work and there's no errors in the log. So we can get this square finished, this big square, well, this big rectangular across the street finished. That puts us about halfway across the southern end of the map. I have a whole bunch of stuff ready to finish both Center Mountain and where are we going? Yeah, you're straight across. All right. Yeah, I have enough. I have stuff imported into the map to finish the Center Mountain and the valley. So right now, Center Mountain's about 85% done. The valley's about 90% done. The where are we at? Western side of the map is finished. So now we're just working our way across the southern end of the map on the outer mountain. Alright, I just want to get a big square or a big rectangular down for now, and then some of this is going to change. But I figured this would be a nice place for you to put some factories down. I almost came in and was playing Farm Town or Factory Town instead. But I figured it's been a minute. We need to get a little bit of work done over here. Farm chick, good morning. Alright, so get some of this connected on so you can drive from lot to lot in the industrial park. Alright, let's throw one more entrance here. And yeah, let's get, here, we'll throw one in the middle. Right, too far. So throw one about there. And then we'll get one. Again, we're going to get some grass and water and trees and stuff in here. So this is just temporary for now. So let's get, where do we want to go? Let's go, let's throw one in the middle. And then we'll throw one, let's go opposite entrance to the railroad silo. So we'll throw one about here. Oh, too far, a little bit over too far. That's better. Maybe. Alright, so line it up with that road. Then we'll get, I'll throw another one about here. And let's connect this up for now. Alright, now we are going to change this up a little bit. So let me do, before I go any further, let me do a quick save. We are going to go in and test these, but I want to get the rest of the square finished. Which means a bit of grass, some trees. Hoping this goes, the rest of this should go relatively quickly because all the factories are now done. So the refinery's in and working, the crate factory should be in and working, the sack factory, and the plastic plant. So I fired up the game really quick just to make sure there were no errors in the log. The only thing I didn't test was the sack factory. Alright, so let's jump up to, come up here. Let's go to places. Let's come down here. Let's make a couple spares because I'm sure we're going to need them. Alright, you're going to be south. You're going to be my south placeable area. I'm going to go to Global Company. To one of the water fields. And I'm going to steal a water plane. So I want to separate some of this industrial, or yeah, this industrial park, placeable area, whatever you want to call it, with some water and trees, and we'll get a water fill trigger in here. Probably the other way then. Yeah. Oh, not that far. I don't want, well, let's go 0.45. I don't want it quite out to the roads, just in case. Alright, so that should work. Let's, now where are you? You should be like right on the surface. You are. So let's pull it down a little bit. So let's go to 205. Yeah, let's go down to 205. Now let's go. Alright, so let's go to round. Let's go to replace. Let's go to 205.5. And before I go any further, you take the strength up. Alright, so that, so we're, oh, because we put the wall, so we need to go, hang on. I want to change this to 20. 205.5. I want to pull that up. Let's take you down to 205. Yeah, there we go. I'll probably go even a little bit. How deep are you? That's fine. I don't want it really deep. Well, alright, let's go. You're at 205. Oh, yeah, let's go down to 205 with the water. Let's go down to 204 with the land. See if I like that any better. Yeah, that's going to be much better. And we'll smooth out the edges once we get this in. You're going to lose a little bit of land, but that's all right. Wanted to get some kind of water feature in here. Don't make fun of my shape. I know what it looks like, but that's changing. I hear y'all snickering over there. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's leave a little bit of an island in there. Yeah, that's something like that. F F F F F F F E D C Z G D E. Hello, thank you for stopping in. Much appreciated. Love it when you all stop in and say hello. Alright, let's go down on our strength. Now we can give the edges a quick smooth. And I will get some. I'm not sure if I want to go with sand or dirt. We'll figure that out in a minute. let's get this, smooth it out first. Then we'll fix the textures. Guess we'll call this the Industrial Park Pond. Make you drive around it. So if you want to pick up your sacks over here and take them to another factory over here, you're going to have to drive around. Unless you want to go through the water. So what do we want to go with? Let's start off with some, where am I at? Let's go to some rough dirt first and see if we like that. If not, we can go to sand. Nah, this'll work. No, actually, let's back that off. Let's give it a little bit of mud instead. Yeah, there we go. And for now, I'm just going to go right over that little island. We'll come back and texture it when we put some trees on it. Yeah, we haven't worked on the map since, well, I think it was like Thursday of last week, so I figured it was time to come in and try and get a little something done. Alright, now how does that look when we come back down to Earth? That'll work. Now we are going to change some of this up a little bit as well. So let's go to some forest ground. And we'll get some bushy bits through here. And then same thing here. This is going to be all grass. We're going to get some we'll get some trees and stuff in through here. I do want to leave some grass along the road because we're going to line the road with some trees. Now, do I want to bring the water in further and put a little bridge across there? Make these edges look so they're not so square. And the same thing here. Let's push this out. And we'll get some trees in here. So this is how you SAS Sasquatch. Hello, welcome. So this is how you make a map. Well, we're pretty. We're about overall 70% finished with this one. Map number 5. Yeah, I guess map number 5 for 2019 or FS19. So we're just working on some factories in an small industrial park. So they get this defined and trees and grass done, we're going to jump in game, take a peek at it. Alright, so let's get a little bit of forest ground here. So we will get some trees in here. And then the same thing on this side. Let's get a little bit of forest grass or forest ground on this side. And then this side will so we have our refinery, we have our crate factory, we have our plastic factory, and we have our sack factory. And then this side I'll leave open for you to put your own factories down. Let's get some, we'll throw some trees out here on the island as well. Alright, so that gets us, alright, so now we got some boring bits to do. We got a bunch of grass to paint in. So let me go to, let's go to square, change that to subtract. Let's grab some grass, and then let's get our grass, and then we'll get our trees in. And then that's the next area we're going to work on, is to cross the street from the industrial park. We're going to make some elevation changes across the street. And then we're going to put in probably one more massive field across the street. Because the eastern side of the map, when we're done with the southern edge of the map, the eastern side of the map, where the coal mine, where all the mines are, we don't have a lot of room over there to put in one gigantic field. So I want to get one more pretty big field here on the southern edge of the map. Let me get road edge done first. Back some of that out so it's not on our driveway coming in. Alright, let me switch to round. I don't want too much grass on our forest area. And then we'll go back to square. Oops, square. There we go. But yeah, nothing super exciting today. We're gonna finish the industrial park, get the trees in. We'll get the farmland painted in. And then we'll start working across the street. We got a bunch of, I want to do a bunch of elevation changes across the street. So that means we're going to change the entire southern border of the map out a little bit as well. Alright, so let's continue working our way around with the grass. I know these are the boring bits I don't like to show on camera, but I want to get this square finished. Now we'll probably do some kind of an industrial park when we get way up to the northern edge of the map as well. Just so you have room for some placeables up there. We'll probably put it up near the railroad, one of the railroad stops. We'll put in a nice industrial area up there. And then we'll probably put a small one over by the mines when we get to the eastern side of the map. Let me get a little bit of this off the road. Now, when I jump off of here for lunch later, I do need to run over to the church. So the lunch break will probably be a little bit longer than normal. Well, longer than the normal 1 hour. Probably be like a 2-hour lunch again today. Yeah, yesterday I was going to come back on after lunch, but I wasn't feeling well, so I ended up just laying down when I got back from the grocery store. And I ended up taking like a 3-hour nap yesterday afternoon. So still not 100%. Let me get, let's go back to square for a minute. I do want to get back into doing a little bit of playing Factory Town. That's now my new favorite game. I didn't play it at all today. I came in here and I got these 3 factories finished early this morning. Oh, we have the grass across the street to do as well. So a little bit more grass than I thought. Because this property here going up to the mountain will be part of the industrial park, so I'm gonna have to probably grass that in. I can work on that off camera. Get the grass done on this side of the street and the trees in. Y'all know I hate doing grass, and I especially hate doing it on camera because it's so boring. Yeah, it's supposed to we're supposed to get rain on and off here all day. So as long as there's no lightning, I'll stream. But if we have any lightning, I'm just gonna have to shut the computer down. I don't think they're calling for anything severe. I think it's just sprinkles and light rain on and off all day. But with all the power surges we get during electrical storms, if I get any lightning, I'm just going to shut down so I can turn my computer completely off. Alright, so it's easier to paint the grass in that direction, so let's jump down to this side. And we'll work our way across this side. The way the lighting is, it's easier for me to see the grass in certain directions. I'm sure we'll have some grass to clean up on the concrete. Did I overpaint that a little bit? Yeah, let me back some of that out. Thought I went a little too far. Tried to get this done before I went live this morning. I just didn't have enough time, so I wanted to finish those couple factories. Oh, wrong one. Yes, I don't know how much we'll be playing. Probably on the weekends. I'll save like Automation Empire and Factory Town for the weekends. But during the week, I really want to start. I really want to get this map finished. So that's the main goal right now. Is going to be the main focus, I should say, is the map right now. So Factory Town, Automation Nation, or Automation Empire will probably play a little bit on the weekends, just to take a break from the editor. I did not go back in and finish the Ice Cream Factory, so we'll save that for Friday. So Friday we'll finish the Ice Cream Factory, and we'll do the Frozen Foods Factory. And then Saturday, if I can stream on the weekend, you know how hard it is for me. The Wi-Fi sucks on the weekend. So, but if I can stream on the weekend, it'll be Automation Empire and a little bit of Factory Town. Take a quick peek at chat. Y'all are quiet today. I know I'm boring y'all to death with painting grass. The good news is I underpainted all the roads and I underpainted all of the railroad tracks off camera. So that part's done on the entire southern edge of the map. I didn't underpaint the roads or the railroad tracks on the east side of the map or the north side of the map yet. We're almost there. I just got to get up to this corner. I may do that other grass across the street real quick too, so we can finish that area. Because I want to paint the farmland in. So I may do just a little bit of grass across the street. It's not a big area. So we can get the trees in and call it done before we move on to the next square. Alright, we're getting there. Let me back some of this off a little bit. So what do we have left to finish this little strip over here? Oh, we got to go all. Yeah, I'll do that off camera. So what I have to do is I've got to paint this whole stretch across the map all the way from there. Yeah, that'll be an off-camera project. 3 a.m. when I can't sleep. I'll finish that side of the road. All right, let's do it. Let me do a quick save. Let this save, and we'll line our street with trees, and then we'll get our mini forest in. Well, not really mini forest. We're just going to separate some of our industrial area with some trees. Yeah, the further along we get in the build, the longer and longer it takes for this map to save. All right, so we have birch trees on that side of the road. So we'll continue with our maple trees on the inside of the road. So let me grab an empty transform group. I'll throw it in here. We'll call it trees. And it'll be the tree transform group for the industrial park. So let's grab one of these. I'm going to duplicate it. And let's go edit, cut. We'll throw it into this transform group. And then we'll start, since the spacing is right about where I want it, we'll just start pulling it down this way. So I want them across the street from our birch trees as much as I can get them. So we'll just line them up with these trees. And then we'll get our pine trees in. This way the trees are semi-even across the street from each other when you're driving down. Now I'm going to I may move that road a little bit. Because if I don't get that tree pretty much across from that one, it's going to drive my OCD nuts. So let's get that out of the way real quick. Let us... Alright, let's go to... concrete. Slide this road down a little bit to here. That'll work. And let's go to grass. We'll fill this in. Get our gravel back under the road. And now we'll go to our grass. We on subtract. Oh, I want stage 4. I'm on subtract. Oh, I'm not on grass. So let's get our grass off of here. And we'll add our grass in over here. This way I can continue lining up my trees. I'll get one down here on the corner. Now we'll work our way. We'll put this tree all the way around. So we'll line the road with this tree pretty much all the way around. These are more of my deco tree. Not quite that close to the road. And then I like to space them pretty much between my electric poles. Okay, one or two on the corner. Throw, square you up, throw one there first. Then I'm going to get one in between. Something like that. And then we'll take this one and we'll continue it down this side. We'll probably end up moving another road. Nope, maybe not. Not so far. Alright, we're getting there. Let's get one on the corner. Something about like that. And then we'll grab another one. Square it up this way. A little bit closer to the road. Let's split the difference. Throw one there. Bring one back a little bit further. So that's the road edge done. Now we're going to put some trees in here, but I want to split up. I want to finish splitting up this farmland first. So it's a little bit more affordable. So let's go to our farmland XML. We're going to go south. Placeable area, small. Let's turn it on. So it's going to be farmland 106. I gotta fix the price. That decimal point has to come out. Alright, so south placeable area small. Bits 1, 3, 5, and 6. So, let's go to farmlands. And I want 1, 3, 5, and 6, which is number 106. 106 is the one I want to paint in. Alright. So, this is our, I forget which factory that is, but I'm going to split the tree area in half. And we'll come out to about halfway out the water. You can't use the water anyway, unless you use your in-game landscape tool. But let's take this out to the road. And this way, when we go in game to check this out, we'll see how the prices are. And if we need to make any adjustments. I'm going to overpaint this side since we didn't do the across the street yet. Alright, so I'm going to square this up. Alright, there we go. So that is that square. So this will be one farmland for the crate factory. Or no, that's the, which one is, oh, that's the refinery. So we have another square painted here for the crate factory and the sack factory, and then I have another square painted here for the plastic plant. So this part of the industrial park, if you want to put placeables down, will be one price. And we're going to split the other half. So this whole industrial park on that side will be one price. So let's grab another farmland. That one's going to be south placeable area large. Let's turn it on. It's going to be number 107. And I want 0, 1, 3, 5, and 6. So all I should have to do is add a 0, and it becomes 107. Perfect. So now we're going to square this up with, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're just splitting the water pretty much. And then out to the road. And then we'll follow the road all the way down. Alright, now I want to fix this side of the road real quick as well. So, oh, wrong one. Oh, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit closer. Oh, crap. I didn't want, okay, I wanted to turn that off first. I wanted to zoom in first. Alright, so I want to paint this side of the road up to the mountain, so a little bit along here, where the grass, where you can cut the grass across the street, is going to be part of this industrial park. up until about, well, up until about here, so it's even. So you'll be able to cut this part of the grass across the street when I put it in. So this grass will be part of that industrial park. And then I want to fix this space where our refinery is. So our refinery is number 103. So I want bits 0, 1, 2, 5, and 6. So I want 0, 1, 2, 5, and 6. And then perfect. So now we can paint our area across the street a little bit with our industrial park. Or with the refinery. So when you buy the refinery, you'll get a little bit of grass on this side of the street to cut as well. And when you buy the big placeable area, you'll get the little bit of grass up to the monorail. Alright, now I want to get in our trees. But I want to paint in a little bit more. Let's turn our farmlands off. Let's go back to round. Let's go back to our forest ground. Because before we put the rest of the trees in, I want to get rid of a little bit more of this concrete. And I want to get a few trees along the water so it separates the industrial area a little bit. So we'll throw some trees along here as a little bit of a barrier. Something like that. This way we're not concrete all the way up to the industrial area. And let's do the same thing on this side. We'll throw some trees and stuff on this side as well. And we could put in a little bit more forest ground if we need to. Alright, so let's grab, where do I want to start? Let's start over here. Alright, so let me close some of the stuff we don't need open. Okay, so there's where we're working. So let's grab that I can close. Actually, global company I can close. Alright, let's grab I'm going to use the spruce stage 4. So let's grab that. But I got to move it into this transform group. So I'm going to go edit, cut, and paste. There we go. Now we're going to get some trees in here. And actually, hold on. Before I do that, I want to finish. Let's get a little bit more painted in here. So it's not just all concrete up to the water. Come on. I do want to surround that pond by trees. Alright, so let's come, which way do I want to go? Let's go this way. And we'll work our way around. A little bit more right there real quick. Alright. Let me grab this tree, make it free floating. So now we can just get some trees through here. Separate our factories a little bit. Throw a couple out here on the island. We can even throw some along the edge of the industrial park. We'll see what it looks like when we go in game. I may throw some more grass or some more forest between the concrete and the road, and we may throw a couple more pine trees in. We'll see. See what it looks like when we go in game. Nikki Fizz, hello. Thank you for stopping in. Zulfer Des, Desmonde, Desmond? Zulfer Desmond, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Very, very much appreciated. Love it when you all stop in and say hello. Alright, let's get our trees done on this side and we'll jump in game and we'll see what this mess looks like and make any adjustments. So let's get the rest of our trees between the industrial park and our pond. And then I may put some more in along the road. We may change this up a little bit more yet before we go in game. Yeah, I think we're going to make a couple more slight changes to this before we jump in game. Yeah, I am. Let's grab, we're going to work our way around here a little bit. Let's grab, just to break up this concrete a little bit. Let's throw in just a few more trees. And this will separate our factories a little bit as well. And then the same thing here. Let's throw in a little bit more forest. Break up the road a little bit. Come on, give me a tree. Give me a tree. There we go. Paint that in a little bit further. That'll work. Yeah, I'm liking this much better. And then the same thing here. We're going to add, we're going to break this up a little. We're going to break this straight concrete line up a little bit as well. So let's throw in some trees along here, just to break this up a little bit. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So let's throw some in here. And then we can even throw some random ones out in the grassy area. I'm gonna like this much better. Let's throw a couple random trees out that way. And we'll do the same thing here. Break up this concrete a little bit. Not quite that far. Let me back that out. And we'll just round this corner off a little bit. Something like that. Random trees out in the middle of nowhere. And then the same thing here. We'll just bring in some we'll go back and get that tree in a minute. Break this straight line up a little bit. Still have plenty of room to put factories in here. So let's grab this tree. And we'll throw a couple random ones out towards the grass. Can I get... Yeah, if I zoom out a little bit further, I can get this whole area. Alright, now let's get back down to earth. Alright, let's save this. And we'll jump in game and see what it looks like. So we'll drive over here to the industrial area. We also got to check these couple factories we put in this morning too to make sure they're working. Actually, once this saves, I'm going to make one more slight change, and then we'll resave it, and then we'll jump in game. But I hope everyone is doing well today. We're going to make some major changes across the street once we get this area finished and tested really quick. Alright, there's one thing I want to do real quick first. I want to go to, and I got to find it. I want to go to ships. I'm going to take top of the waterfall. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to call it South Placeable Area. I'm going to delete that spline. We're going to go create a spline. I'm going to grab a new spline. So let's go edit, cut, and paste. And I have to move it up one spot because it has to be first. And we're going to throw it right here for now. Yeah, that'll work. So let's grab the end. Now this doesn't have to be pretty because it's a spline for some ducks. So I want to get some ducks swimming through here. And it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be pretty. I just want to get some ducks swimming along the water. And they can come down this way. They can make themselves a crazy loop because we know ducks don't like to swim straight. we'll make them do another like crazy loop or something over here. Now, we'll give them another wiggle. Then they can come back out this way. And we'll close this loop. Let me get a little bit closer so I can see. So put one more point about there. Alright, we'll close the loop. Grab our ducks. Oh, come on. Where's my ducks? There's my ducks. And then let's go up here. Let's go with like 6. Alright, now let's save this again. We'll actually let me make my spline invisible. Now we'll save this again. Now we'll go in game and see what it looks like. And we'll see if we have to adjust duck spline. So I may have to raise it up or drop it down a little bit, depending on if they're actually swimming on the water. Now, when we jump in game, if you're new to my maps or new to this map, anything that you see fenced in with a construction barrier as we're driving through the map has to be built, meaning you have to deliver like lumber and steel and plywood. There's like 10 or 12 different items you have to deliver to it to actually build it onto the map. I'm not going to get into too much of that this morning because I want to spend as much time in the editor as I can and not in the game. Alright, so let's jump into the valley map. Save game 8 will work. Yeah, it's the high yesterday was like 75, 76, and the high today it dropped overnight, and the high today is only supposed to be like 58. And drizzle and rain on and off all day. Again, we're loading a 16x map with about 50 or 60, well, there's more than that. We're probably up to about 80 built-in global company functions. So the map's going to take a little bit longer to load. Alright, let's jump in here. Now, before I go any further, I don't like the in-game log. I can't read it. My eyes are bad. So we're going to jump out real quick. I'm going to go to the log. I just want to make sure that no weird Lua errors pop up with those factories first, and then we'll give them a quick test. Alright, so we're error-free so far. Alright, let's jump back in here. Let us, before I jump in here, again, we're not going to save this. Let's grab some cash. We'll grab a little bit of speed. Alright, let's lease a truck. Right, head over to the vehicle shop. So we are, again, this map isn't finished, but basically this map has a center mountain. The black area is going to change. That's going to, anything you see in black is there's a canal. So we have a center mountain going into a valley, and then the valley is cut in half with a canal, and then the outer mountain runs around the entire perimeter of the map. So right now we are on Center Mountain, and then, like I said, anything you see fenced in with the construction barriers, you have to build. There are 3 trains and then 3 monorails that run through the map. But we're going to head across the valley towards the industrial park that we're working on. My road splines are still visible because I'm not done with traffic. So now we're going to head across the valley to Outer Mountain. We're heading south. Center Mountain's about 90% finished. The valley part of the map is about 90% finished. And Outer Mountain is only about 45% finished. We have rain starting around lunchtime. I'm tired of rain. Bring on summer already. Yeah, Farm Chick, I hear you. It's been pretty bad here as well. We've had more rain and gloom and cold than we've had spring weather. We got a little bit of work to do on the mountains yet. But that'll be off-camera work. Alright, so if we have the train coming through, the monorail is usually not that far behind. There we go. So there's the monorail if anybody hasn't seen it. Train crossings are not in yet. That's still in the works. So field 60 you have to build to my left, and then in field 59, same thing. You have to build it in order to use it. And then to my left, between the road and the guardrail, I want to get some weeds and some bushes and some flowers and stuff. So that part of the map's not finished yet either. Alright, so right over here you have, again, I don't have the train crossings in yet, but you have an oil well, so you bring in your goodies here and you get your crude oil. bring the crude oil over to either the refinery or the plastics plant. I'm going to drive around this industrial park to see if anything catches my eye before we go in it. So we're going to make a loop first. A little bit of excuse me, a little bit of grass along the road to clean up. I don't see any floating trees. I don't see any grass on the road. I see a little bit of missing grass. But that looks pretty good. Alright, so you have your large industrial area on this side where you can put factories down. So let's take a look at our pricing real quick. And again, this map isn't finished. So the big industrial park is going to cost you 1.6 million. You're going to have to work for it. A small industrial park area is going to cost you 785,000. Now the refinery, 389,000. The crate factory and the plastic factory, no, the crate factory and the sack factory is on the same farmland. So that's 300,000 for two factories. And then the plastic plant is 252,000. So that's not bad. So let's head over to the refinery. Alright, so let's buy the refinery. Let's buy the couple of factories. So we can get our global company menu. So you can either put in coal, wood chips, or straw, grain, and silage to make diesel, or you could bring crude oil over to make diesel, or you could bring over crude oil and crates to make plastic. So this is the refinery, and we're going to give it a quick test. And then we have a small crate factory. So you bring over your logs, your ore, your coal, wood chips or straw, and water to make your crates. You'll get a little bit of wood chips back, you get a little bit of resin back, and in resin you turn it into glue. And then you have the small sack factory. So you're going to bring your plastic, your coal, and your water over. It's going to make your empty sacks, which you're going to need a ton of. And then over here is the plastic. So crude oil, crates, a little bit of coal, wood chips or straw, and water, and then you'll get your plastic to turn your plastic into your sacks. Well, I forgot some trees right here. I gotta go in and put in a couple trees in right there. How are our ducks doing? Ducks are you swimming or are you floating? You're floating a little bit. I gotta drop that spline down just a little bit. Alright, I gotta put a couple missing trees in. What do I have? Let me grab my phone because I can't read. My eyeball's bad. Chase, Chase D-Man, I think. Chase, maybe? Chaz? I'm terrible with names. Chase D-Man 554, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Very much appreciated. Y'all know I love it when you take time out of your day to stop in and say hello. How did I miss some trees along here? All right, we got to go back into the editor and put a little bit more, couple more trees along there. But let's give some of this a quick test. So let's grab, since we can't save this save anyway, let's grab store delivery mod. Let me grab one of our trucks from our vehicle pack. Let's grab a truck. I want to grab a tanker. I want to grab our tipper and the K100. Again, we're cheating stuff in just for testing. I want to make sure that these couple factories work before we move on. So let's grab let's grab some coal. Where's my coal go? Does this one not take coal? I could have sworn this one took coal. Oh, I know we bought the land. Why do I not have a trigger? I should have a trigger right there. Oh, yeah, it does take coal. That's what I thought. So why do I guess, do I have a trigger messed up? My coal trigger should be right here. I'm missing a trigger. Trigger's there, it's too low into the ground. Alright, so let's go in and make an adjustment. Alright, so let's go in and fix that trigger real quick. Let's see if the other triggers work. Alright, so you should take some coal as well. Yeah, we gotta go back and fix the trigger in the refinery. I'm gonna make that pit a little bit smaller. That pit's a little bit too big. Let's grab a little bit more coal. Let's head over to the other factory. And I gotta go back in and put these couple missing trees in. Alright, so I know you take coal over here somewhere as well. There we go. So let's go adjust the refinery real quick. Or I can't test any of the, I can't test the refinery unless, let me just drive around real quick just to make sure I didn't put the coal in the wrong trigger. And then we'll go in and fix it. Let me grab a little bit more coal. My coal should go into this trigger right here. My coal, my silage, and my grain should go right there. And we pick up our plastic over here. Unless I put the coal in the wrong trigger. Nope, you're for my crates. You should be for... Yeah. Alright, let's go in and make a quick adjustment. Alright, you can sit here. Let's save this real quick. And I'm just going to do another quick save. Alright, let's go check. Chase, okay, thank you. Chase man, Chase, is it Chase D-Man 554? Rob VTB, hello. I'm terrible with names, I do apologize. My eyes are bad. I don't have a second monitor, so I gotta look at chat on my phone. Alright, let's jump in here really quick. I can't do the missing trees because they won't show up in game until we start a new save game. But this trigger is a little bit too low, so let's bring this trigger up. And then let's save that. And then we can jump back in game. So sorry, Chase. I will get your name correct next time you pop in and say hello. Wait for this to save. Yeah, well, we just threw these 4 factories in. We didn't test them, so I just wanted to make sure these triggers work before we move on to the next part of the map. Alright, now let's jump back in game. That trigger should work now. Now, I'm going to take a little bit longer to load because I have the editor open running in the background, and I also have Streamlabs open and running in the background, along with Steam open and running in the background. There we go. Alright, so let's jump back over here. Now I should have my trigger for coal, and we do. Alright, so now let's grab some silage. And then let's grab a grain. Crap, which grains do we turn into diesel? I can't remember. Which grain do I need? We can use corn. Alright, so those triggers work. So we have our coal, wood chips, our straw, we have our grain, we have some silage. So now it's the diesel line fired up. Now we're not going to be able to make plastic until we get some crates. But I can throw some crude oil in here and make sure that trigger works. Alright, so let's grab a little bit of crude oil. Alright, now where do I put the crude oil? I can't remember. Is it the same input? Because we can turn, you could make your biofuel with the 3 products we just put in. There you go. Or you can add crude oil from the oil well, and it'll turn into diesel as well. But in order to make our plastic, we need crates. So let that run a minute. Let's run over to our crate factory and see what we need. Alright, I know you need logs. So let's cheat in some logs for testing. So let's go, is it, which one is it? This one. I'll throw a few more in, because I want to get some crates made. Alright, so we got some logs in there. Alright, we have our logs, we have our coal. We need water and ore, so let's throw in. Let's grab you, let's find some ore. Alright, so we have our ore. You're going to have to go to the ore mine and get it, but for testing, we're just going to cheat it in. Alright, this way. So you need ore, because our crates have metal. I want to make that coal pit smaller. It's way too big. So that's the first thing we're going to do before we move on to the next area of the map. As I'm shrinking that coal pit down. And then you need some water. Alright. So how much wood do you have? That should be good. Alright, so let's go 2,000 speed for a couple hours. Alright, that'll do. Now let's spawn out some crates to make sure that their spawners work. There we go. So we have a bunch of crates. So we're taking our logs, we're turning them into pallets. We're taking our ore, we're turning them into crates or cages. So we have our empty crates. So let me grab my store delivery mod. Should still be over here. So let's grab. I don't have the new auto load trailer in here. Let's grab this guy and let's grab another truck. Alright, now we should be on. Oh, does this one not have the pallets on it? This is the updated trailer. This one doesn't have pallets. Alright, hold on. We gotta do a quick side trip. Let me get this guy out of the way. I gotta get my other flatbed trailer in here. Oh, let's do a quick save. I don't do much testing on this map yet, so I don't have the updated vehicle pack in here yet. Alright, so let's grab my mods folder for this map. Where is our updated vehicle pack? Your orchard pack. You're the old vehicle pack. You're the updated vehicle pack. I need the auto load trailer. But which one is it? No. The autoload trailer is a separate download now. Alright, let's go to, hang on. Where is the new auto load truck? This one. So let's copy that one into here, and then let's grab this one so that should be the two auto load trailers I need. And then I'll get my mod pack. I'll get my mods updated for our test folder. I'll take care of that off camera. And I think those are the two auto trailers we need. Again, we can't save the save anyway. But I want to test these couple factories before we move on. And then something else that I forgot about. Let me grab my to-do list. We need to put in a saltwater pickup, which we haven't done yet. So we have to put our triggers in for our salt water, or we're not going to be able to turn it into sea salt. So I'm going to do that in the valley down by the sand mine. Alright, so now, which trailer are you? You're the one that should now be you're the one that's just bales. Now we should have, there we go. There's our new flatbed trailer for pallets. There we go. Now you should be on regular size pallets. That's the auto load trailer I'm looking for. Now I don't want to pick up all of these crates. I only want half of these crates. We're going to take half of them to the refinery. And we're going to take half of them to the plastic factory so we can test both of them. Oh, come on now. That trigger's going to need to be adjusted. No, it's not. Okay, so there's our crates going in. So this should now be making plastic. So you can make plastic here, or you can make plastic in the plastic factory. So you have two sources to make plastic. So that went active as well. So the diesel factory, our refinery is completely working. We got to check our output triggers, but all of our in triggers are working. So let's grab the rest of those crates. I want to add a couple more. I see a couple more spots that need some trees. So we're gonna make a couple slight adjustments to this before we move on. Alright, so let's grab these guys and take them over to the dedicated plastic factory. You're going to need a ton of empty sacks on this map. Alright, so where do you go? I don't remember. You go over here. Alright, so this pallet trigger needs a slight adjustment as well. Let me just give them, there we go, quick push. Now disappear. Alright, so slight adjustment to this factory. Alright, what else do you need? You need water and crude oil. Yeah, that coal pit, we're going to make that coal pit smaller. Oh, actually my liquid trigger's over here. Alright, so you need water and crude oil. So let's find those. Crude oil. Oh, does this trigger need to be adjusted? This trigger may need to be adjusted. Yeah, crude oil and water should be both in this trigger. Did I put it in the wrong trigger? Let's go check the other trigger. Yeah, we're going to go in and make another slight adjustment. Let me check my F5. Yeah, that trigger is going to need to be adjusted. This is why we test triggers. So my crude oil, my water should go right over here. Alright, let's go adjust this trigger real quick. Oh, it's getting really dark and cloudy out. So let's jump into here and let's go over to this factory. And this trigger needs to come up a little bit as well. That looked like it. Let me make it a little bit smaller. Sometimes if the triggers are too big, they don't work as well. Alright, exact fill route 1 in the plastic factory should be our liquid trigger. So let's save that. While that's saving, I want to go back into, do I have it open? I don't. Let's open up the plastic factory. So let's go back into Ritchie Valley, global company, and you are the plastic factory. So our oil should go into the oil trigger, and our water should go into the oil trigger. Alright, the XML is correct. Let's just see if this trigger needed to be adjusted. While that's still saving, I want to go into Objects, Palettes, Global Company, our crate palette. I want to look at the unload speed. Oh yeah, that's the problem right there. Now the factory should take our crate pallets a lot quicker. Alright, let's jump back in game and see if we fix that trigger. So the diesel factory will make biofuel. It'll, in one production line, it'll make out of your coal, your grain, and your silage. Once you get your oil wells up and running, you can bring crude oil over to it, and it'll make diesel from crude oil. And then if you bring crude oil and crates over, it'll also make your plastic. And if you don't want to use the refinery, you can use the separate 3 factories. One making crates, one making plastic, and then you take your plastic over to the sack factory and you'll get your empty sacks. Alright, let's jump back in here. So where were we? Crude oil. Come on. I know my Xbox One controller is needing to be replaced, but now you should take... Oh, come on. Is this trigger... Why is this trigger not working? What did I mess up in this factory? We need water and crude oil to make our plastic. Why are you not taking the crude oil? Yeah, you are not taking the crude oil for some reason. So what did I mess up? So either the trigger's messed up or the XML is messed up. Let's see if it'll take water. So let's empty out the crude oil. Let's throw in water. It should be the same trigger. No, there's something messed up either with the XML or the factory. Oh, now I got the truck stuck. Alright, let's go back in and look at the factory. Let's look at the triggers again, and let's look at the XML again to see what I messed up. Alright, before we go any further, let's check the log and make sure I have no trigger errors in the log. So no Lua errors at all. So what's messed up with the plastic factory? We have our unload trigger oil, exact fill route 1, pallet trigger 1. So we have my oil, I've got my exact fill route 1, and my pallet trigger, which we really don't need, but I'm going to leave it here anyway. So let's make that a little bit smaller. But my exact fill for some reason is not working. So what we're going to do is we're going to take exact fill route node 2. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to go edit, cut, I'm going to move it up here. We're going to delete exact fill route node 1. I'm going to move that up, and we're going to renumber it number 1. Sometimes you just have to replace the triggers. Don't ask me why. But since we put crates in there, I know this trigger's working. So 0000001. Let's check our i3D mapping. 0000001. So we know our i3D mapping is correct. We are trigger oil. Well, let's change that. Let's go water, just to be sure. We're going to change this to water. And then we're going to change our water trigger to water. So let's save that. So we have our exact fill route node, we have our pallet trigger. Our trigger is named water. So this should take our crude oil and it should take our water because we know our i3D mapping is correct. So I don't see anything wrong with the XML. Now that we swapped out the triggers, let's save this again. And I'll just get rid of the second triggers and we'll put everything in one trigger if this doesn't work. We'll put everything in the other trigger. I can make changes to a factory and have it work with an existing safe, so we don't need a new safe, so that's not my problem. Alright, let's try this. If not, I'm going to get rid of these extra triggers. Alright, let's see if that fixed our trigger. Let's grab a little bit of speed first because I hate walking slow. Alright, so you have crude oil in you. You should, let's see if this triggers. There we go. So let's unload our crude oil. Just needed to delete that trigger and put it back in. And you also need a little bit of water. So that should have fired this factory up. And it is active. So now we're making our plastic. So let's, before we forward time, what do you need? You need water and coal. Wait, that's wrong. This one's making plastic. This one should make sacks. What did I mess up? Okay, it does say sacks. Okay, we're good. So you need water and coal, and then we have to wait for some plastic to be produced. So let's grab this guy. Let's throw in a little bit of coal. This guy. Yeah, I'm gonna make these coal pits a little bit smaller. They're both way too big. So that's one thing we're gonna fix. So that one needs to be made smaller. which is this one. Yeah, that one's got to come down a little bit. That one's too big. I want to get some more trees in here. And then this one I made a little bit smaller already, but I think I'm going to make them all even a little bit smaller yet. All right. Water. So a couple slight adjustments before we move on. Water in here. Alright, so now we just need some plastic. Barge I don't need. This guy we need. Oh, we are at the plastic factory. Where am I driving? I'm driving aimlessly. We need to take plastic to the sack factory. Alright, so you should have went active. You are making plastic. So let's grab a little bit of time. Alright, so now you should spawn out some plastic. So here are our crates of plastic. So let's take our plastic and turn them into sacks. And then you need plastic for a couple other factories as well. I'm going to have to move this truck out of my way. Yeah, I don't like that coal pit. It's too big. Alright, so you should have went active. Now you should be making our empty sacks. And you did go active, so good. Let's grab a little bit more time. And then you should be able to spawn out some sacks. So there's your empty sacks. So you're going to need a ton of these in other factories. I just got to get some signs on these buildings yet. Alright, so these factories all work well together. Couple slight adjustments. So let's get out of here. Streamlabs. T Miller 63. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the whole point system set up in Streamlabs. Oh, we do. You have 228 Crybaby Diapers. Maybe I did set something up with points. I don't remember setting something up with points. Alright, so these three factories are going to work well together. I noticed a couple things I want to do. I want to get in a couple more trees to fill this gap in a little bit. And then I'm missing some trees over here. So I want to throw in, so let's grab a little bit of our forest ground. Let's throw a little bit more over here as well. So let's go throw a few more trees in. I'll throw a couple random ones out here in the grass. Alright, so that was now the coal pits. Let's see if we can get these coal pits a little bit smaller. So which ones looked too big in game? It's hard to tell scale in the editor sometimes. You know what, I'll monkey around with those off camera. I want to get a couple, let me spin my camera around. I want to get in a couple missing trees right here. Why aren't they? Well, it helps if you hit the right button. Alright, let's get a couple missing trees in right there. I'll make those coal pits smaller because I'm going to have to adjust the fill planes and everything else. So I'll mess around with that off camera. I don't have any in this map yet, so let's go to... where do I want to go? Where's the required mod pack? Alright, it's not in the required mod pack. Where is assorted placeable pack? Water fill. Yeah, I want to grab this. I'm going to go... I don't need the trigger. I only need this. That's all I need. Let's go File, Export, Ritchie Valley, Water Fill Station. Let's close that. I'll leave that open a minute in case I need any texture files. So let's go to Ritchie Valley, New Buildings, Water Fill Station. And crap, they didn't go to... I have to move these. Alright, so let's go you, and you. Need to come in. Let's sorry, scroll back down here. So you, we're going to cut textures, paste, because I want them in the textures file. So that got rid of them from my main folder. It did. So now we just have to go textures, backslash. Let's save that. Now this should open up without any texture errors. Alright, so let's come back in here. Let's go, let me make a new, alright, hold on. Let's close, no, let me leave places open. Close this, close that, close global company. Alright, I'm going to make a couple more spares because we're going to need them. I'm going to use this one for water fill stations. let's go File, Import. Let's import that water fill station in. I'm going to go Edit, Cut, Paste. We're going to throw it here. So this is pretty much our only water fill station in the map so far. So let's throw you there. Now where do I have them? Ritchie Valley placeables, water fill triggers. Alright, so let's go File, Import, Ritchie Valley placeables, water fill triggers. Now how many do we have? Right now we're only using one, so I'm going to delete all the spares. We can put them in as we need them. So let's take our one water fill trigger. Let's put it here. So right now this is the only one in the map. And then let's take a little bit of concrete and let's bring in concrete back to like there. Alright, so we take our water fill triggers, we go File, Export. I'm going to overwrite this one. I'm going to delete it out. Now when I bring it back in, it should pop into place, and that should be the only one. It is. So plastic plant I'm done with. So let's open up our water fill trigger XML, because right now we only have the one. So right now I only want the one to load. So right now we will only load one water fill trigger into the map. And let's bump up the load speed a little bit. 20,000 liters a second, because most of our trailers are 500,000 liters, so that'll fill a little bit quicker. And then make sure we have, where's my items XML? So we have water fill triggers, placeables, water fill trigger XML, 0, zeros. Okay, so you should all be at zeros. Okay, so there's our water fill trigger. So that's going to spawn in. That'll be the only one that spawns into the map so far. So the only thing I need to fix here are the coal fill points, and I can do that off camera. And then I want to get the grass on this side of the road all the way down. So I'll do that off camera because it's boring. So that's going to finish this little industrial park. Bad touch. Hey, I'm late, but I'm here. Better late than never. Sasquatch, because you love the point system, do you build maps with no mods in mind, or do you include mods? This map only has a couple of factories built into it, but Ritchieville, Ritchie's Hollow has a lot of factories built into it. The 16x map, Ritchie Island, is a heavy factory map. Richie's Homestead is my version of No Man's Land, and it doesn't have any factories built into it. Well, it has like a sawmill built into it, a table factory built into it, and a wood chipper built into it. Just a couple forestry mods. But I love heavy factory maps, so most of my maps have a lot of factories in them. So, but yeah, we have a bunch of placeable factories that you have to use on my maps. All right, I'm going to save this before we move on because we're going to make some major changes for the next part of the build. We're going to make some, or I want another elevation change. So we're going to start this before lunch, and then we'll pick it up after lunch. Okay, cool. I guess those are, yeah, I love, those are cool to play. Yeah, I love heavy factory production. But I'll go into Streamlabs and try and look at my point system and see if I can make any adjustments to it, make it a little bit better. Alright, now let's get really scary. Because we're going to change up the southern border of the map here real quick as well. So I need to grab all of these transform groups and we're going to float them until I change up this. Actually, let me go a little bit higher. I want to get these out of my way until I come all the way down. So you've got to come out of the way. You've got to come out of the way. We're going to make an elevated field. But the elevated field is going to go all the way to the edge of the map. And I'm going to put the train and the monorail into some tunnels. So we'll probably spend a couple of days on this part of the map. This will probably be at least a 2-day project. Oh crap. Alright, hold on. Let me go back down to where I was. Alright, you out of my way. You. Oh, come on. Out of my way. This one. This one. We're going to put them back later, but I want them out of my way for now. And you out of my way for now. Alright. We're going to take this water plane. We're going to reuse it, but I'm going to get it out of my way for now as well. Now, I should have went in here already, and I should have all the grass out of this area. Nope, we still have grass in this area. Alright. Before we go any further, I've got to get the rest of the grass out of this area. So let me go to subtract really quick. Let me get this grass out of our way. make sure I have the grass. Yeah, this grass has to go. Because we're going to make some elevation changes. I'm not worried about the gravel for the railroad track, but we'll come in and fix that. So the gravel's going to look really funny for a couple minutes. But I just want to make sure I got most of the grass out of our way. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to replace 206, and we're going to pull the strength all the way up. And then in order to make this look right, I'm going to have to flatten this out for now. If not, it's going to, when I rebuild the mountain, it's not going to look right. So let's get it out of the way. Because I'm going to take the mountain all the way out to the edge of the map. I know I don't like elevation changes this far into a build, but I have something in mind that I want to do. Yeah, we're going to go to about here, and then I can blend it back in. Alright, now here's where we get really scary. Oh, that's right. Our crap, I forgot about that. I can't go higher than 210. We max out. This may not work. I forgot that I can't get my mountain up any higher. That's as high as I can go. Crap, this ain't gonna work. Because my mountain is maxed out on height. Well, the whole map is maxed out on height. Well, we could. I just can't go up as high as I wanted to. Where does that put me? Here. It puts me above the... As long as I'm above the monorail, I can get a tunnel in there. Alright, so we're going to do this a little bit different. We're going to go to 209 because 210 is the highest I can go. Or is it? What's my highest? Where do I max out? What height are you? Control R. You're 255, so 255 is the highest I can go. So let's go down to 250. And let's take you to off the edge of the map. So if 255 is my highest, this is the highest I can go. So then what I could do is I can blend in the edge of my mountain. Now we're going to have to come down a little bit lower. Let's go to 240. Let's start out a little bit lower. That'll give me room to put a ridge. So if I go to 240, then I can, actually let me take this off the edge of the map. Then I can blend in a peak over here and make it look good. Now we can put our trees back. And we can cut a tunnel in for the monorail, and we can cut a tunnel in for the train. So I basically want this mountain going across to the road, essentially. So we'll have a big elevated field over here. Once we build a ramp coming up to it. So we'll probably go, I don't know, something like this. Because I want to get a road up here. And again, I'm going to push that back and make it look good, but I just want to get the basic shape in where I want it. So we're going to be somewhere in this general area. And then what we can do is I could push this back. And then we can blend in. We're going to have to go back further. I'll need a little bit more room around this. Actually, I can move that across the street. We're going to move our monorail station. Before we finish because we're going to elevate this all the way down to that mountain back there. So in order to make this work, we're going to have to, let me move a couple things first. So this is Railroad Silo 06. So the apartments are going to have to come over to this side. Do I have enough room? Oh, that's not going to work. Well, it will, but I'll have to move the bus stop. Can we squeeze? No, that's not good. Actually, hang on. Can I pull it? I can. So let's pull it this way. No, because then our... Actually, I can. We're going to have to move some triggers. So let's pull you over here. Yeah, I like that better. Alright, let's pull you over here. I'm going to move you down a little bit further before we go back and finish our mountain. I'm going to need, let me go to square for a minute. Let me go to concrete. So we're going to need a parking lot for our cars over here. So let's get rid of this grass right there for now. So I'll have one parking lot here for cars on that side, and we'll have one parking lot here for cars on this side. And I'll worry about fixing the rest of this grass later, once we come back to finish this railroad silo. Now you are railroad silo. So I need apartment 06, I think. Hold on. Placeables. Maps. Placeables. Railroad silos. Is it passenger? I think it's passenger 7 is the one I want to pull back in. I think it's this one. File, import, maps, placeables, railroad silos. Is it passenger 07? It is. I'll pull these triggers down and get them readjusted. Yeah, we'll have just enough room to put this here. Can I move this building a little bit further back without it interfering with the train? I probably could. Let me get these triggers fixed before we go back to building the mountain. Yeah, I'm going to pull you back as far as I can without it interfering with the train. Because I need to pull so I could take you to the road. This will be our bus stop here. So if we take this guy, this will be we could drop our workers off here with the bus. We could pick our workers up right there with the bus. Now I'm going to have to adjust our monorail trigger. So this one has to come over a little bit. And alright, which one is it? So that one's adjusted. That one can stay there, we're not using it. Where is this guy? Oh, this one here. Okay, hold on. This guy has to come over a little bit. Alright, so passenger 07, I'm going to go File, Export. I'm going to overwrite that one. Now we're passenger 07, which is this one. So this one here, I have to make some adjustments to the X, Y, and Z. Streamlabs. Jay Dunn 1019, thank you for the host. Thank you for stopping in, taking time out of your day, stopping in, saying hello. Always much appreciated. Time is it? 11:17. I got a few minutes before I break for lunch. All right, so we're working on passenger trigger '07. So let me change its coordinates where it spawns in. Our height hasn't changed. Just our X and our Z has changed. So let me save that. So we're at 726, we're at 205, and we're at 3997. Okay, so there's where our triggers are now going to spawn in. So let me delete them out. They spawn in as a placeable. Alright, so now let's get rid of... Let me go back to round. So let me get rid of the rest of the grass on this side for now. Alright, now we can play around with this elevation change. And we're going to put, like I said, we're going to put a train tunnel in, we're going to put a monorail tunnel in. So let me go back to replace. And let me pull this guy over for now. And we're going to redo this part of the edge of the map. Again, I don't like doing elevation changes this late into a build, but I want an elevated we're going to do some elevated fields over here, or one big field. I'm not sure yet. Alright, so that layer, so this layer should be 206. Let me push this back a little bit. Ignore the textures for now. We're gonna fix those shortly. I just want to rough this in before we move on. And we'll build a ramp coming up here. So I want, let's pull you, oh, wrong one, 240. So let's pull this out a little bit further so we can have room to build a ramp going up into here. If I get it on the road, I can always push it back. Which I'm probably going to end up pushing it back. I'll probably end up on the road here in a little while. So now let's grab, let me go down on my strength just a hair. So now I want to try and build a mountain range. I've got to try and blend this in, coming up to here. And we're going to blend in a mountain range along here. And then we'll figure out how to get a road up here. Now I can't go too high because we're going to max out on height. So I got to be careful on how high I bring this peak. So we're going to end up with something like this. Let me go up on my strength a little bit more. Wrong one. again, I may drop this down. Um, yeah, let's go down a little bit further. That's going to give me a little bit more room. Let's go. I'm going to go down to 230 instead. So let me take this back, or the mountain's not going to blend in right. Let's cut this back to 230. That's going to give me more room to put the peaks and stuff in that I want to do. Once I get this edge done, then the rest will go a lot quicker. Now that's going to put us with the monorail sticking out, which might be pretty cool to have the monorail running at ground level up here and then have our train coming out of a tunnel below it. We could put the monorail in a tunnel, but how do I get up and over it to use this part of the map? Because I want to use, hang on, before we go any further, really mess this up. Let me grab a tunnel. Where's my tunnel? My tunnel is, oh, crap, hold on. My tunnel is over here. Alright, I need one of those tunnels. We're going to have to adjust the size, but I want one tunnel for now. Oh, I hear thunder. So if there's any lightning, I'm going to have to jump off of here. I'm going to have to shut the computer down. Which I'm going to get out of here for lunch very soon anyway. But I need to get the height right before we can build this mountain. So let me go edit, interactive placement. Bam, we're going to need a tunnel for the monorail to go through. And actually, if I put it over here on top of this building, I can get it the right size and shape. Alright, so let me go back to 1, 1, and 1, back to its original size. Now if I pull it up, it's going to need to be narrower. So let's go down to 0.6. And it's going to need to be a little bit taller. So let me go to 1.4. So there's Streamlabs, Sasquatch, thank you for the follow, very much appreciated. So that is going to be I think the size of our tunnel that's going to be just about right for the monorail to go through. Which we'll have to go in game and look. But that's about the size of my tunnel for the monorail and the train. So in order to make this work, the top of my land actually has to be just a, no, crap, this ain't gonna work. I don't think this is gonna work the way I want it to work. So we're gonna have a tunnel here for our monorail to go through. Now 255. Let's go back to 240 a minute. If I go back to 240, where does that put my land? That puts us here. Can we drive? We can actually, no, you're still going to be up a little bit too high. So if I'm going to have to take my land to 245. Let's go down a little bit. 244. $243. I want it to come down just to the height of my tunnel. So 242. That's going to be my land height here is going to be 242. So that's where my land is going to end up, at 242. Now I'm going to have to be really careful because I max out at 255. And in order for me to get a couple peaks in, I can't put some really high peaks in. So I've got to be really careful, put my ridges back in. So bear with me a second, this will make more sense in a minute. So if I bring you along here, that's my max height on my flat spot on top of the mountain. So basically I'm trying to build a mountain on top of a mountain, because we're already on the mountain side of the map. So now if I go back to 206, I can get, let's get this pushed back so I have room to build a ridge. Without messing up my roads. The roads we can't move. Roads are pretty much set where they are. Alright. Now I can take, let's smooth this out a minute. Alright, so now I have to very carefully, build a small ridge along the edge of the map and then along here coming up to where I don't max out my height. So I got to be careful on how high I go. So we're going to end up with something like this. Let's grab our mountain texture. We're going to end up with something like this. Let me go down on my strength. Before I completely build my mountain. Let me get some of these sharp edges out of here. And now I'm going to grab a lunch break and we'll finish this up after lunch. So then we're going to take our dark color and we just blend in some of our dark. So we'll put in some of our dark ridges mixed in with our light. So it'll end up like two-tone mountain. And then our monorail and our train will have their own tunnel. Cutting through the mountain. So I want it to look something like this. And again, this isn't our finished product yet, but we're going to look something like that when it's done. We'll smooth out all those weird looking peaks. I just want to rough this in a little bit. So we'll end up with something like this. We'll have to build a road going up there. And I'll take a couple hours off camera and I'll blend it all in and I'll get it looking good. But we're going to do something like this all the way down. Let me get this floating water plane out of the way until we're ready to reuse it. So back to was it 242? Yeah, it was 242. So until we put our ridges in, this whole area has to go to this height for now. And now I'm going to grab lunch and we'll finish this up after lunch. Unless we're getting a lot of lightning, then I won't be back on. Because I'm hearing thunder in the background. So we're going to run this mountain ridge all the way down to our big field. And we'll probably end up with one big field up here. We'll see. We're going to end up with either one big field or a couple like medium fields. Biggest problem is getting the train tunnel in. It's going to be really time consuming getting the train tunnel in and getting the monorail tunnel in. But I want to rough this in for now. So we're actually going to take this all the way down to, we're going to blend it in with that mountain ridge there, all the way off the map. So we're going to spend a couple hours playing with mountains and tunnels. And now I got to figure out how to get up here. So we're going to have to build a road coming up here. So very roughly something like this. And then we're going to have to blend this mountain ridge in. And again, don't worry about the train and the monorail. That's going to get a tunnel. So we're going to end up with something like this coming across the street from our industrial park that we just put in. And we'll get it all blended in, looking pretty good. And smooth it out, we'll get all those circles out. But it's going to end up with something like that. I can't mess the lower end up too much. But roughly something like that is where we're going to end up with. So we'll end up with a ridge that's going to run across the very, very edge of the map. And again, I can't go too high, so I'm going to have to be careful on how I blend this in, because I've reached max height on the map. So let me take this down so I can blend it in a little bit better. So yeah, see, I'm going to have to be really careful on how high I put these peaks. Let me take this back out to 240 and we'll work our way back. So I've got to be careful on how I put this ridge in. So we're going to end up with something like this. Same thing, I'll pull this back. And then we'll get a nice smooth ridge in across here. Something like that. It'll look much better once we get our textures fixed. But we'll have to do something like this all the way across. So we're going to end up with a small ridge all the way across here. And we'll come back and smooth out those sharp edges. So something like that. Then we'll blend it in and smooth it out, make it look a little bit better. And then the same thing on this end. I don't like this end either, so we're gonna smooth this back out, and then we're gonna blend it back in very carefully. So we're gonna end up with something like that going across or going all the way around. It's easier for me to do the lower end first and then come back in and fix the top. And again, we're maxed out there, so I'm going to have to be very careful on how I put this ridge in. That's about as high as I can go with that ridge. So we're maxed out on map height. So we'll end up with something like that. And I'll blend this in all the way across. And we'll come back and smooth out all those weird peaks. But pretty much this is how we're going to end up running across this side of the map. And I'll spend a couple hours playing with the mountain and getting it exactly how I like it. But I'm going to save this. I'm going to get out of here for lunch. Bad touch. We had some pretty loud thunder last night, but oddly not a drop of rain. Sasquatch, any idea when or if you can build maps for FS22? That is a loaded question because Giants right now is not releasing a lot of information on the updates and changes from 19 to 22, other than Seasons is going to be built into the map, into the base map, into the engine. And there's going to be an option to turn it off. That's all that Giants is telling us right now. Through the grapevine, I've heard that because of console, there's a new engine. So the maps are going to be running on a new engine for 22. So how hard it's going to be to convert the maps from 19 to 22, we're not going to know until 22 comes out and a new version of the editor comes out. So my best guess is when FS22 comes out, you're not going to see anything converted for about 3 to 4 months until everybody figures out the new engine and the new editor. Is my best guess right now, without Giants giving us a lot of information. So that is the best answer I can give you right now. Rob VTV, see y'all later. Memelar, bye all. Um, if I run, I'll either be back in an hour if I don't leave the house, or if I have to run to the church, it'll be about 2 hours.